And it just cracks me up when I'm live on two different social medias at the same time, and trying to get them to go at the same time does not happen. Like they don't go live at the same time. And so you sit there on one going, waiting for the other one to go, and that just happened again. Sorry, I just have to chuckle at it because it's making my Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to the weekend, at least for me. I am still working here, but we're getting so close to the weekend. Hi, Rainbow, you got in and notified. Yay! I'm excited. So we are going to do a little bit of intro here because I haven't done that yet. My name is Carol. I am the owner and creator of everything you find at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. Hi, Rosie. Hope you're having a great Friday. And so I do more than just the selling of the jewelry. I actually don't do a lot of the selling of the jewelry here on my social medias. I let my website take care of that. But what we do here is we have chat times, we have bead sale times, and we have tutorials. Today, at this time, is a tutorial. We are going to probably spend a lot more time talking today than we are in actual making, just to be totally transparent, because what I'm going to teach you, one I've never done before on one of our lives, but that one will just take a few minutes to show you how to make something so simple. And so we will have that. We will also, I'm bringing up my backup account so I can see comments better, of TikTok. I don't have a backup account of YouTube, sorry. But the other bracelet that I'm going to make, I've shown before. So for me, I don't think it's anything new, but I will show you how to do it in case you are new to us and haven't seen it done before. As always on TikTok, if we get 10 shares, 10,000 likes, we will do giveaways. So what today's tutorial is about, it's called Layered by Links. And in the spring 2025, what it is all about for the trends for jewelry is the layered look. And my makeup is really shiny right there, and I can't get it to not shine. Sorry, everybody, you're gonna have a shiny glow there. But it's layered by links, layered bracelets, giving you can do them with simple bracelets that just make it look elegant, or more so the boho feel. And today I'm going to teach you about the boho. Hello, Ultra. Hi, Edith. And so when you look at it from that aspect, thinking of the boho colors, there is a whole gamut of colors this year for this season, which is more than normal. You usually have like 5 colors that are just, these are the colors for the season. The one thing with this season is it is a lot of different colors. And so you can take and make a lot of different things with this, and it isn't that this is a boho. Thank you, Edith, for subbing. Sorry, I don't give out phones. And I can't gift while I'm live here. But anyways, what I was going to say, hi Geraldine, is that it is more of just pairing colors together. And one of the things to think about, and I didn't grab this, well, I should have grabbed it, is to think about the color wheel and how you can put colors together that are on the color wheel to make certain shapes on the color wheel, such as a rectangle or a triangle and that type of thing. So if you think about it from that aspect, you can bring the colors together. Also, it is about bringing different textures together and different, you can even do different color of your metals, which is very difficult for me. The metal mixing, I will tell you, is very, very difficult. I stay in silver if I'm doing silver. I stay in gold if I'm doing gold. I still stay in the antique bronze if I'm doing antique bronze type thing. So that is where we have this whole entire, I have a hard time with it. Today I'm going, hi Lori, I am going out off of my norm, and we're gonna mix metals in what we're doing today. I'm gonna go grab the color wheel really quick to help explain that. And this, we might be spending more time on this kind of thing than we are actually making jewelry, but I think once you understand these steps, it will make sense. out where I hid my color wheel. There it is. All right. So let me take that out of its package. All right. This isn't the color wheel I wanted. I have two color wheels. Well, I'll use this one. We'll just use this one. Hi, Edith. So when you look at the color wheel, think about, you'll see here, there's a triangle. So if you wanted to say, I want one from this one from this one, and one for this one, that will give you 3 colors. And in this color wheel, you will see each of the sections has, I think it's 6 or 8 colors, 2, 4, 6, 7 colors. You're going to grab it from the same spot. So if we're going to do this one, let's say we're going to grab this one right here. Then when we go over here, we're going to grab this one. And up here, we'll grab that one. And those 3 colors will go together to create an appealing eye colors together. I didn't use my color wheel today when I made these bracelets or put these bracelets together. You have seen, hi, Mr. Rena. Hello. You saw last night, I'm going to take one of these off. Well, I'm going to take 2 of them off so I can bring it. So yesterday, we had the tutorial for the free spirit circle bracelet, where we used eye pins to attach and make a chain of beads. Hi, Melissa. And so when you put these 2 colors together, they do have that appealing, because if they look on there, they are in the same area. So they have that appeal. Where can you get this cone? I bought my cone off of Amazon. It is called Easy Bracelets. And it also says you can go to www.easybracelet.com and get it too. I've had this for years, and I got it off of, not Amazon. I got it off of Etsy. So thank you for the follow, Destashing Willow by Christy. So there's the 2 that we did. Well, hello. Okay, thanks. So that's where we did. And I said, today we're going to add to it. So some of the bracelets that we're going to add to it, I'm going to take this one off. I made a quick bracelet this morning with textured link chain. We're going to put that one on in between and kind of just break it up. And then we're going to put the green back on. And then I just went through, you guys know, I have behind me, when we're doing our giveaways, I have bracelets. I just grabbed a bracelet out of there. I didn't make this one specifically for it. I just looked and seen what I had in my own stuff. And look at that. Do you see how those 3 are in our triangle? And look at what they make. Isn't that just cool? And you think about using that triangle and that you're just bringing in the 3 colors. So I have 4 bracelets on here. The normal appeal for bracelet for the eye is odd numbers, not even. But we can't really see this one right here as much because he blends in a little bit. But I'm going to add a 5th one in, and that 5th one I can add in will be either a beaded one where I've already picked out some colors. It's a neutral color. Or we could add in a different metal chain. I'm not selling this one just yet because we are teaching on this one. After I get done with the lives and stuff later on, when I decide to sell it, I will put it up for that. So yeah, so literally this chain here is a textured chain in the antique bronze. It is the same chain as we have here. It's just a different color. And so I'll teach you guys how to make the chain bracelets. They are so simple. You can make those just like bling, bling, bling. But there's a couple of things I want to tell you about when we go to make those. We've also done the stretchy, because that's what this one is. And we'll do another stretchy in here, because if we put another one of the full circle or free spirit circle bracelets, we have a lot of metal in there and we're not breaking up the metal. And that's the one thing that's with this style that's out there right now, is you need to break up the and not have it all the same. So bring in different textures. If you're someone that macrames your bracelets, which is the knotting with the cord, you could add one of those in here too and give it just different textures. And that's what you want to do, is give different textures. And that's what I want to say about layering. All right. So I'm going to go back to, if you guys have questions about anything we're talking about, just ask, okay? Hi, Smokey. So we're going to go, and I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet. So I'm going to point you guys down for that one. So we're going to go down. Sorry, I don't know why I'm zooming you there, but I'm zooming you guys. All right, you're seeing this. This is how simple this bracelet is, everybody. I have a ruler. My other one was that I have on here is 7.5 inches of chain. I do not want to do another 7.5 inches because then that puts it at the exact same spot as this one. You need to, if you noticed when these were on here, and that's why I have them on the cone more so today, is if you notice, they are all different lengths. They are not the same length. And because they're different lengths, then they stack up there and they stay. And when you go to put them on your arm, you're going to have, because your arm naturally, see, mine naturally gets bigger. You're not going to have one that's going to be like a lot of loose here and then type thing. And then it gets tight up here. They're going to be all the same, potentially, depending on the size of your wrist, of space here. Does that make sense? Yes, I do have a website. My website is CarolJo's.com, and that is CarolJos.com. Yep, sorry. When I moved you guys down, I can't see it. We are making a layered look, and there are some layered bracelets out there. And I have to decide, do I want my layer to be in between these two? Do I want it here? Do I want it here? If I want it here, I want to make it like, see how it says 6 3/4? But I also have my closure. So I'm going to make it a little, the chain would be a little bit smaller. If I want it to go in between here, I need to make it around, so my bracelet's around 7. If I want it to go down here, I need to make it about 7 3/4. That's where these come in handy to help you figure out where you want to be. So I am going to make it a little bit longer. So let's go, I'm going to do my chain as 7 3/4, but I will be adding the closure on the end to give it over the length. So these are unwelded pieces of chain link, just like you open a jump ring. One comes towards you, one goes away from you. Grab half of the toggle and put it on, close it up, and make sure that you get that chain back to where it was and there's no hole. On the other end, you go to this link, and open it up. There it is. One comes towards you and one comes away from you. I'm just using chain nose pliers to open it. And then I am going to close it back up with no, so when you close it, I want you guys to see there is no space in that chain length. Now we're going to test something out. That goes in and out. So there is. And this is bigger than our chain. There's a reason why I ended up selecting this toggle. Number one, I thought it was an eye-pleasing toggle for this chain. So this could be part of giving you a different dimension to your bracelet. Also, thank you. If you go with something like this, I did this one earlier and I kept it as an example. This clasp is a toggle clasp. When I try to put this one on, it's not going to go on because my chain is bigger than my circle with that bar and it's not going to be able to go through. So I decided with this one, I was going to go a little bit bigger. If I take these all off, let's see where this one lands. He's going to be about an 8 inch, so he's a little bit longer. Then we're going to put this one on. And I don't want this one, I don't want my toggle to be there. Then we'll do this one. And I can have my toggle in the front on this one, or I could do it in the back. There and there. And see, there is 5 bracelets for that layered look. Now, if I were to put this on a hand, I have a little arm here, little display. I'm just going to put them on this way. It's not going to give you like a true, but you can see there. You're going to have it mixing up and that type of thing when you wear it. He's going to go actually this side because he's bigger. He's naturally going to gravitate this way. There we go. Well, then my silver on this one went that way. And that works too. So see how something so simple. That chain took seconds to put together. It took me longer to find everything to put it together than it was to make that chain bracelet. Some of my tips I'm going to tell you about with chain bracelets that are, for the bracelet is that you're going to want, like I said, your toggle that you're going to use on it to be larger than the length of your links. Also, you're going to want to use a heavier gauge chain. So I have a chain here that looks like it would be awesome on these bracelets. And it's not this one. Where is he? I got to find him here. It isn't this. Yeah, it is this one. Sorry, it is this one. This one. It looks like it's okay, but sometimes test it out. Pull on your links. Sometimes that the gauge of the wire is not very thick. And when you pull on it, it will open up your links because they are not soldered. If you're going to go with a thinner gauge chain, do soldered links. That means that they are welded together. They do not open. So then to get your clasp on, you're going to either need to use jump rings, or I would say preferably split rings to get those on so that it will stay on your design. So that's what I will to give you as a little bit of tidbits advice there on chain. But once you make these chain bracelets, I'm sorry, I don't go live with others when I am teaching or sales. There we go. So this chain is just an amazing chain. I do not have this one up for sale tonight. I will let you know. I found, let me take this off. I used my own personal for this one and then realized it wasn't like I meant to do this. It's just what happened. I made this one because I love the textured chain look, but I grabbed the platinum of this one, and that's what will be up for sale tonight. We're going to have the platinum textured chain up for sale tonight. So you'll be able to buy that in 1 meter lengths. This is 7.5. So if you think about a meter is 39.4 inches. So you can make a lot of bracelets if you want just to do the bracelets and create the layered look bracelets here and sell them that way. If you're someone that sells jewelry, you can also use these for necklaces too. But very inexpensive, very easy. And I've done some of the toggles in the past where you've got different style of toggles. If you guys need me to bring toggles again, just let me know. I can bring them to Tuesdays live. But I need you guys to let me know. All right. Whoop. Hey, I told you this is why last night I said sometimes I don't like this bracelet. This one opened up on its own because I'm messing around with him big time. And then I'm going to shut him up. There we go. All right, we fixed him. Yep. Oh, they do have the easy necklace. I've never bought the easy necklace because the necklaces, they don't take up as much in the inside as the bracelets. Okay, I do not know if I have those 2 colors, Geraldine. I will add them to my list. And that was antique bronze. Okay. Okay. I got them all down there. The jump rings, I have silver jump rings. They're smaller ones in tonight's live, and I have been trying to look for different colors, and I went to try to order more colors, and I might not be able to get those in right now. One of my wholesalers, if they used to be able to allow us to pre-order so that when it came in, they would ship it to us right away. And with all the tariff changes and such, they didn't want to do that. And then we would think that we were getting something that wasn't tariffed, and then it is. And so they took it all down. So not tonight, Rainbow. I will do those on Tuesday night. Toggles will be Tuesday night. Everything I'm bringing tonight will be new items with the exception of the eye pins. Okay. So, but I am trying to get I'm trying to get the different colored texture chain, and I am trying to get different of the jump rings, split rings, and I was also trying to get the 12 by 6 millimeter lobster class in the different metals, but I will also check in different toggles. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these 4 bracelets, take out the silver, or maybe leave the silver in. Let's do that. And then I'm going to add and change out the blue for this cream color. So we're going to make a cream color bracelet now. And all I'm doing is using my stretch cord. This is a brand new roll, everybody. I went through my other one. That one took me years to get through. And I know I put it down here. I know I did that because he was unraveling, and I'm like, I put you down here, right here. I found him, I think. Yep, I did. All right. Yep, that's how I buy mine. I do end up selling it too. So if anybody wants to buy it, I do not remember the length or the cost. But if you want me to do a roll of it, I can look it up and tell you that. Now I got to look and see. I moved all of my bead stoppers. So let me grab one of those quick. I was trying to clean off my desk the other day, and I cleaned a lot of stuff off of it. Still has a ways to go, but it's getting there. All right, we have bead stopper on. I'm just gonna do that roll has, is it 10 or it has 1,000 meters. Okay, a meter is 39.4 inches, so that would be 39,000 inches, 39,500. What was it that inspired you to start making jewelry? Thank you, Smokey. My sister and I, it will be in May of this year, 20 years ago. So I'm getting close to 20 years of making jewelry, everybody. In May of 2005, my sister and I were having a girl day. And that girl day, we went and got our hair done because we used to do that. We would just go to a salon and have them style our hair. And we didn't have any plans after it. Like, we weren't going to go do anything fancy. We would just, like, a few times a year, just go have somebody style our hair. So we had done that. And then we were like, what else do we want to do? And we were driving down one of the busiest streets in Sioux Falls, because I live by Sioux Falls, and there was a bead store. And my sister was like, let's go in there. And we started walking around, and the owner was like, do you guys want to learn how to make a bracelet? And we're like, sure. And that is what started it. And I love it. I love it. I love it. BBTY. Yes, I have them either today I just got 3 orders dropped off. We have not opened those orders yet, and I don't know what's in them. I don't know if the bead stoppers are in those orders or if it will be an order that I'm going to be getting here shortly. But I do have bead stoppers that I requested. So with the bead stoppers, or with the orders that I put in recently, we had to maintain the orders under certain dollar amounts to make sure we don't get tariffed. Because they did change some of those laws and such. They will go into effect in May. And so we just have to make sure we were underneath it anyways. I always had to. I always had to make sure my orders were under $800 so that I wasn't getting tariffed. All right, right now I am at 7.5. 7.5 is what it will be length, but that doesn't mean because we are using a 6mm size bead, and he is yucky, it will not be really truly 7.5 around. So let me see where this one is at. Whoop, he wants to go away from me. Here we go. If I put him on here, he is going to be right around that 7.5. Not quite, probably about 7.25, which is right in between these 2 beads or bracelets. So I have to decide, do I want it to be smaller or larger? I don't really know. I might, trying to see here. Let's see. We're going to play this way. Let's see how this looks together. Yeah, because he's too much bigger than that. So I might have to add another bead to get it to go in between. Joya said over here on TikTok, she started because she didn't have the jewelry and no bracelet and she wanted some. Yeah, I think that will. Yep, I like that. Okay, so that's where we're going to make our length. The bead cone comes in handy when you're doing layered bracelets, I have found. Just FYI. So I'm going to take off my bead stopper, left over right, in the center, bring it together. You don't have to have it extremely tight at this point, just together. Now we're going to take the right over the left, go through that hole that's here in the center right there, and bring that in, end in and around, and then pull it tight. Take on each side, take this and hold your bead, and that my knot will stay. So we're good. If you are someone that does not glue, you are done. That's funny, Lolly. Lolly says, I blame Zuli for my jewelry making addiction. If you are someone that glues, I use Hypo Cement, the GS Hypo Cement glue. It has a little tip here that you can get into there, and you can glue that in there. And then you got to put the cap back on. And this is where sometimes it is not easy because you got these little things that you're trying to do. There. Let's see if we can get some of the glue off of the tip while I'm trying to put that on there. Go in. There we go. Got it. Whew. All right. So I am not going to cut my ends off. When I glue these, I let them glue for or dry for at least a half an hour before I cut them off. When I go to cut them off, I use, oops, I dropped the scissors. Hold on. Trying to get them. There we are. I use a pair of scissors that has a very pointed end so that I can just get in here and just cut it right above the knot. And then you don't have a little dinger. It is called Hypo Cement, GS Hypo Cement. I end up calling it just Hypo Cement. I leave the GS off when I'm doing it. And this is the glue. I buy 3 tubes of it and it lasts me about a year. You're welcome. Because it'll come in a 3-pack on the Zon. So there, if you wanted to do just 3 bracelets, let's move this toggle to the back. But look at it with 3. Isn't that just stunning with the 3? I'm going to take them off of there so you don't have the white background so you can see these.
Where would you like these, madame?
Go ahead and, do you see down there where I have the teal and blue things? They're up against the drawers thing.
Are you talking about like the colors of beads and stuff?
Nope, up again, turn around, 180, down on the ground, right there, down.
Okay.
Just, there's the blue and teal containers.
Okay, just put it in one?
Yeah, thank you.
Send down a minute.
I know it is, Patty. So there is these three. Sorry, I'm going to get that toggle out of the way. So there, you can wear those three together. And that be it. Or you can, let's put this, this, this. And if this were smaller, let's just envision it smaller. And then you have the metal in there. Or you could put, if you made them different size with your metals, you could do it like this. So you're in control. Ooh, I really like it that way. But I'd have to change out my size of those bracelets. I'm going to bring this up for a second.
The baskets that you wanted me to do down there, do you have the labels printed for them?
Some of the labels are already printed. If you go on my desk, sorry, I'm telling somebody how to get some stuff. Do you see where up there? Yep, you got them. That's some of them. They're not going to be all, but so you'll have to print some.
Okay.
And then I need to print the things for these and the ones that are in there that I said I stopped with the first one.
Okay.
So I'll be getting you those in just a moment. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Sorry. We have one of my nieces working with me today. So, this one I think is my favorite combination with this. I don't know. That's what it's about. You guys get to create these. And like I said, you don't even have to always make something new for these. But there is the channel here on TikTok is CarolJo's LLC. Sorry, I didn't see that until just now, Smokey. But you can change it out with one that, like this one was one that I have for sale or the giveaway or whatever I want to do with it. I haven't put it out on my website yet. But I just grabbed it and see how, and I could have two of these, or I could have this one, or I can change out this one and put these together. Or I could change it out and have these all three together, and then my chain ones on the ends. I don't have all of those made up though, but you could. So Joya said put light tan and coral or sea foam for a coastal look, and you can. And that's the thing about these is that you really just have to just play around. But one of the things that I have found that I have to stop and think about a lot is it is trend. You can tell them, Lori, it is the trend right now. You could even do these three together. And maybe do it like that. So you can mix and match. So we have 4 beaded bracelets to make all of these combinations. We have 2 of the free spirit circle style. We have 2 stretchy, and we have 2 chain. And you can mix them up and put them in different ways. And if you don't like the mixed metal look, you could just do another silver or another antique bronze and put them in there with a different style of chain to give it some more texture. And that's the thing to think about, is just bringing in different textures. Don't overdo one of them. Do each one sparingly. Does that make sense? So like I said, I only have 2 of each style. I don't have 4 of one and then I just bring another one in. Yep. And the thing is that tonight I am bringing up for sale some of the what do I want to say? The stones, the natural stones or the natural beads. I will have those in like 6 millimeters to add in there. You can do I will have mostly rounds, but I will have some tube ones. In the kits that I'm going to bring that you guys can purchase, you can do, I do have some tubes. It's a turquoise tube, but I had that bead up for sale in the last, I'd say, couple of months. And I honestly can say this is me speaking truthfully and taking some time to really think about items and that type of thing. I have just given you guys all these different style of beads. Oh, cool. I see, and I didn't really care for turquoise a whole lot because to me, turquoise means Southwest. But when I see some of the turquoise that I'm bringing in, when I look at this, it really is, it is really cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm liking this. I don't have any anklet kits that I've made up. Tonight, my kits are going to be the full circle. And I will also have some where you can do the stretch to where you can make these into the layered looks. And so when I've brought beads before, I just brought beads because I had them. And I didn't have like a theme behind it or thoughts behind it. And I know when I'm live, I'm like, well, you could do this or you could do that or you could, that type of thing. In the last few weeks, I have like sat back and thought about the business model that I have been having and doing. And you've noticed in the last 3 weeks, I've been giving you guys tutorials, and then the beads that I'm bringing are around that. And sometimes I'm like, man, I think if I would have done that approach months ago, you guys would have been like, I got it now. Instead of me bringing it and you're like, yep, nope. At least in my mind, this is what was happening. Nope, I don't need that one because I don't know what I do with it. So I'm trying to show you what you can do with them and be more purposeful about what I'm bringing to the lives. And I'm not trying to be sounding salesy. I'm really trying to help you build your collection so that you can build on it and look at what we're building right now for jewelry. And my husband says build, so that's where I'm getting the build from. He goes, yeah, you build jewelry like I build cars. So we can laugh. You will hear me say that. But you can make and create around the trends and what I'm showing you. So thank you for saying that, Lori. And so that's literally where I am moving towards and spending time on. It also helps me think about, okay, before when I went to do tutorials, I sat there and I was like, I don't know what to teach. I can teach stuff. I just don't know what to teach. Give me ideas. And so by having this approach, the ideas have flowed easier for me. And so I know that BBTY, you asked about anklet kits. I can add that. We have done the anklet tutorials here, but there's more to it than just this style of an anklet. I'm going to see what else. I've given some of them away, so I don't know that I have a lot left. I think this one might be my only one left. Nope, I have this one too, where we have a charm. And we can spend, you know what? We're going into summer. If you guys, but the one thing I don't sell is the liquid silver here. I do not sell that. I cannot get it for the cost of where it makes it beneficial for me to bring it in. But I can tell you where you can source it if you want to do that. And we can spend some time with how I would do different designs using this approach. And we can do that in the next couple of weeks because we're heading into summer. And you know what? Anklets are in this summer. And it really truly is. So, and I can look at some other different types of anklets than this one. Yep, so Joya does the polymer clay because the polymer clay beads do allow you to bring them into water. This style of an anklet you are not supposed to wear in there. See, I don't live in an area where we wear anklets year round. Because in the winter, if you put those boots on and you have an anklet on, it hurts. And I mean by boots, snow boots. Okay, so I will look at, because I had not picked what we were going to do for next week. yet. I sit here and on Saturday night, I do spend the time to do it. And if you noticed, my schedule is coming out earlier and all that. And it also helps me say, okay, I need this person to work on this day to help me make sure my lives are in the place and helping me gauge my employee schedule. So by doing this, it really has been not so hodgepodgey. You would like the gemstone pendant to put on the anklets. Okay. I will look into that. How about, so I can spend some time coming up with ideas for our tutorials. I'm not going to do it this next week, but I will do it the week of, let me just get the calendar out, and I will put it on the calendar. We wouldn't do it the week of April 21st through the 27th. We will do anklets the week of the 28th of April through May 4th. And it's May the 4th be with you day. Sorry, I just have to say that. I have a child. Val is really big on every year Pi Day and May 4th day. All right. That's when we'll do that. Oh, yep. And I've seen the pop off, the ones that you pop off and you change the center of it. But let me see what I can find and come up with. I'm not a Star Wars fan, and I don't know why. I hope you have a lovely Easter also. So yeah, so that will be what we'll do that. I still have to come up with next week's theme, and I was thinking I would do more bracelets again, but not always the layered look, but come up with how can you wear a single bracelet, you know, kind of like what we did with, we had layered necklaces and then we had the single necklace look. So, I'm thinking that next week, that was what I was going for more so, is like what single bracelet is in style and trending for spring, summer 2025. Jeez. That's funny, Geraldine. I'm like, Pi Day for us is that we actually make a pie on Pi Day. Okay. From one of Julie's, and I don't know what they did. Yeah. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to hop off because we are actually, Buttercup does not have school today. It's Good Friday. And so they don't have school. She doesn't have school today, or she doesn't have school on Monday. So, I have her 4 days in a row. I'm so excited. And then, Ryan has Fridays off now. He has moved to his summer hours, where he works 4 10-hour days Monday through Thursday and has Fridays off. So we get to have lunch during the day as a family, which we don't get very often on a weekday. So we're excited to be able to go do that. So we're going to go grab lunch here. I will be back at 7 p.m. Central. I have a lot of different items tonight, and they are geared around what we learned this week. It's about different size beads so you can make the free spirit bracelet. I will have kits for this one. We have 5 different options on it. There are beads so that you can make the stretchies to go with them. And that will also be kits. There's 5 different kits. High side is it's not character. How do you say that second word? I will have for chain, we're going to have the textured silver chain is up for sale tonight. I also have a different style of chain that we used for the Y necklaces. We have that tonight. Oh, good. Thank you, Lori, for letting me know. Thank you. I will also have pendants that you guys can put on for that Y necklace. I will have pave style pendants that are butterflies. We are going to have some gemstones. We have acrylics. My acrylics are going to be Halloween ones because we got to start thinking about, I know that's like 6 months away, but we got to start thinking about that because you need to start planning when will you make it to bring it to your shows so that you do not feel overwhelmed. So I will start bringing some fall colors in before you know it. All right. And we will also have a lot of different glass beads because with that boho, you've got the stones and the glass mixed together to give you that boho feeling. So that's what we've got coming tonight. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central, we will have charms. So, and I know, Joya, you will not be on tonight or tomorrow. So yes, you have a great, great Easter. That's what we're going to have. We're going to have everything that I just listed off except for the charms tonight. This right here, are you talking about BBTY? These little pieces here? That is called liquid silver. I know Fire Mountain Gems sells liquid silver because that is the place that I've been able to buy it. I haven't had to buy it recently, but that is where I have bought it from in the past, is Fire Mountain. It's Fire Mountain Gems and Stones or something like that. But if you just Google Fire Mountain, you'll get to their website and you can put in, at least back in the day, I could put in liquid silver. I literally have not bought from them in probably about 3 years. So, and as long as you keep your liquid silver in a baggie, like, it won't tarnish. So these do need to be put in bags pretty soon or else they will tarnish. In like 6 months, these will tarnish. But if you leave them in a bag, when you're not wearing them, they don't tarnish. Because I bought those, I probably bought that liquid silver, I would say 6, 7 years ago. And it hasn't tarnished, but it's always in a bag. So, you know, when people talk about how to keep your jewelry, I keep mine a lot in bags. And if you notice, after I do, almost all of my jewelry gets put in a bag. And most of the time, it does not tarnish. So, just FYI on how to keep your jewelry looking nice. All right, but I'm going to hop off here. We will be back at 7 p.m. I haven't finished all of the numbers. I'm about halfway through and I'm in the 30s. So I'm envisioning that we'll be probably between 50 to 60 items for tonight. All new with the exception of the eye pins. So that will be tonight's items that we have up for sale. So we'll see you back at 7 p.m. here tonight. Also 10 a.m. tomorrow for charm sales. So we'll see you later, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.